Today we're talking about two works by William Roberts and David Bomberg, two artists who first met as friends at college and who went on to play key roles in the development of British painting in the early part of the 20th century. Matt, let's start with William Roberts. Just tell us something about his background.
William Roberts is a fascinating English modernist who was born in the East End of London and studied art at the famous and revered Slade School.
And what do we know about the subject, Matt?
One needs to remember that this was probably painted circa 1919 and therefore was following a lot of Roberts' harrowing images of work on the Western Front. And so I think the playfulness of this subject probably came about partly because of the joy that the Great War was finally over.
There is a kind of mechanistic quality to the figures.
I think so, and I think that's a really good point. There's a lot of sort of optical energy, which was what the principles of Vorticism was centred on.
And what is Vorticism now?
Well, Vorticism was a fresh and new way of looking at the world in a pictorial language. So it was very much a turning against the 19th century traditionalist representative works that were exhibited, say, at the Royal Academy each year. And to a large degree it was influenced by the very famous movement of Cubism with Picasso and Braque.
David Bomberg was a friend of William Roberts. He was the older artist, a bigger name in a way, and a bigger painting.
So this is a painting created quite a few years later than Women Playing with Cats. This is a 1935 David Bomberg depicting the ancient town of Ronda in Andalusia with its cathedral in the distance. David Bomberg was very much his own person. The abstract work he was completing was the most daring artwork being seen in England at that time.
So he was a really radical artist when he first emerged. And this is something stylistically that's a bit more traditional and formal, but it's still got that sense of fractured energy there.
Yes, it does. It has a raw energy that we see in the brilliant sunlight, the way it's sort of striking the sides of the ancient buildings, and also the perspective as well is incredibly dramatic, the way that the road sweeps round to confront us in the foreground, and the positioning of the houses on the street. In a funny way, they are sort of grounded in the Vorticist movement still. After growing up in the sort of the gloomy East End of London, the Spanish light really had a huge impact on Bomberg.
So there you have it, from the East End of London to southern Spain. The story of two groundbreaking British painters, William Roberts and David Bomberg.